What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Sounds of the Monorail podcast. My name's Kyle Paxton, casting alongside me, my twin brother Derek Paxton.
Hey, how's it going?
Today we got Haunted Mansion news to cover. It's the 50th anniversary on August 9th. We're talking about Magic Kingdom's entrance delays, causing 3-hour delays at the entrance. We got cast member previews for NBA Experience, so we're going to be talking about that. And then after that, we're going to be talking about our top 5 underrated attractions in Disney theme parks. So
Yeah, I'm super excited to talk about it. We were really anxious to talk about it last week, but we kind of ran out of time. Figured just save it for another episode. So finally getting around to it. I'm pretty curious what you picked.
yeah, part of me feels like it's going to be somewhat similar, and then the other part could be like, I don't know, it could be totally different.
I have a feeling my list is going to be pretty different than yours, but I don't know, like maybe.
Yeah, I think one or two things will have the same.
Oh,
but
for sure. I think you know what some of mine are.
yeah, because some that I picked, they're kind of off the wall, so like I know you're not going to pick those ones. But like the other ones are like kind of obvious.
Yeah.
So
okay.
But yeah, we can jump right into the news here. So in Disneyland, Haunted Mansion has its 50th anniversary on August 9th, and they just announced a bunch of merchandise for it. So one of the biggest things they announced is their new Host-A-Ghost, which is this kind of lantern candle looking thing.
Yeah.
I'll throw a picture up for the video version. But it basically lets you become a caretaker for one of the 999 happy haunts. This can contain Constance Hatchaway, Professor Phineas Plump, or the Hatbox Ghost, amongst others.
Yeah, I wish we knew how many we actually can get, because from the looks of it, like they just mentioned those 3, and then we're like, and more. So who knows how many different ghosts there actually are.
Yeah.
I would be stoked if there's a lot of different ghosts you can get. Like obviously not 999, but I'm sure they could whip out, 15 to 20 maybe,
I'm sure like pretty much all of the ones with a name you're going to have. You know what I mean? But like I don't like I didn't know Constance Hatchaway by her name.
Yeah.
That's the bride, for those of you who don't know. And then like Professor Phineas Plump, he's one of the hitchhiking ghosts.
Oh, okay.
And then the Hatbox Ghost, the Disneyland specific. But yeah, I know all 3 of the hitchhiking ghosts are available. It's not just Phineas Plump.
That'd be weird if they didn't have the other 2.
Yeah, it would be weird.
So do you have a ghost right off your top of your head that you personally would want?
Oh, guy, I don't know.
Because the bride is actually one of my favorite ghosts at Haunted Mansion.
Oh, really?
But I hate the animatronic. That's like one of my favorite rooms in the Haunted Mansion is the attic scene where you're seeing like, going through the husbands and just looking at the items in the room. You can tell they're like progressively getting like richer and richer, like
yeah.
And then you get to the actual bride and she looks so goofy. Like I hate the animatronic, but I like the idea of the bride and the character. Wouldn't that be a cool animatronic to update if they just were like, all right, we get it, guys, we messed up, it was pretty stupid looking, let's get a really nice looking animatronic in Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, that would be nice, because I feel like it really falls under that thing that Disney's been doing lately with the face projection animatronics. And it works well with like characters that don't necessarily look like normal. Like if they're cartoony, they look fine.
Like the dwarfs, maybe?
Yeah, like the dwarfs, they look good because they're very cartoony. But like characters like Anna and Elsa, they look really weird.
They're like the worst.
Or like Constance Hatchaway, she looks weird. So yeah, I don't know.
What about Buzz? Does he Buzz Lightyear? I mean, I know that's kind of an old school.
I think he's like. Yeah, I think he's cartoony enough.
Okay.
Because
I like
he's
that
pretty
one a lot,
cartoony.
Too.
Yeah. Like so it works for him. But like others that are supposed to look more like human, I guess.
Right.
They look a little weird. Like Kristoff, he looks weird.
Yeah, I mean they all look weird.
Yeah.
Olaf looks good.
Yeah, like Olaf looks good
great, actually.
So yeah, hopefully they would redo that one day.
Yeah, I that's kind of a dream of mine. If they ever update the Haunted Mansion for any reason, it'd be to fix the bride, because that's to me the only like really glaring problem I have with that ride is how that animatronic looks. It just looks goofy.
I wish Disney World had the Hatbox Ghost too. But...
Yeah, it's weird to me that we still don't have one.
Yeah. Did it ever have the Hatbox Ghost?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I could be wrong though.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay.
And when you get a host to ghost, you also get a death certificate too.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's just like something that's included with
Just
the
a
purchase.
piece of paper, but it's a cute piece of paper.
Yeah.
So-
And then, of course, along with that, you're going to have your ear-specific merchandise, your T-shirts, your jewelry and accessories, pins, toys, all that jazz. Won't go through every single item, but
Is there anything on there besides maybe the host to ghost thing? Anything on there you probably would get or you're excited about?
I probably wouldn't get it. But I think the ears do look cool. I
do
might
like
get a
the ears,
T-shirt.
Sure. Yeah.
I think some of the T-shirts looked cool.
I don't have
so-
a Haunted Mansion t-shirt. So
Yeah.
maybe. But
Yeah.
I might actually get the host to ghost thing. It looked pretty cool to me. So
Yeah, it has this creepy kind of vibe, and then you get
Yeah.
your death certificate. Like that's
frame that
super
on the
cool.
wall.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I think that's
Yeah, and then of
Pretty
course
fun.
we're getting all this stuff in Memento Mori as well at Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
I originally thought this was all Disneyland stuff, so I was kind of like, man, they always get the cool stuff. Like, I'm always so jealous of Disneyland. But yeah, we're getting a portion of that stuff. So
yeah. So here it's at Memento Mori. In Disneyland, it's going to be at New Orleans Square.
Yep.
So, yeah, pretty cool.
And then the actual anniversary is August 9th for the Haunted Mansion, and
Yeah.
that's also when the merchandise becomes available.
Exactly. And that's all we got for Disneyland news. So moving on to Disney World news. Magic Kingdom faced major entrance delays. They said that Disney claimed that their scanning system was down, pretty much only allowing magic bands to enter. This was pretty crazy.
Super crazy.
We were actually at the parks this day, or I was, and
Yeah, I was at work that day, I believe.
yeah, we were looking for fast passes for Magic Kingdom. It was like 10 o'clock. All the fast passes for Magic Kingdom were gone. So we're pretty sure that they were like compensating a lot of the guests with fast passes. And that was what was causing all the fast passes to disappear at 10 a.m.
I gotcha. That makes sense.
It's just a guess, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. Apparently there were 2 to 3 hour waits to get into the park. So if you had like a ticket that wasn't on your Magic Band, you weren't allowed in. Like if the scanners just straight up were telling you like, no, this isn't a valid ticket. So the guest relation lines were crazy long. I don't know. This is crazy to me. Like part of me is like, bad things happen. So you got to give some type of a break. But at the same time, it's like, man, this is a Fortune 500 company at least. I'm sure they're probably more like Fortune 50 or something.
Oh,
like I don't know
probably,
where they are exactly, but
yeah, Disney is. It's hard to forgive Disney for these sort of things. It's really hard for me to be like, it's okay, Disney, we all make mistakes, because yeah, we do, but when you're the Walt Disney Company, you can't, like, so I mean, I know it happens, but that doesn't mean we have to be forgiving about it. Good on them for giving fast passes to people that kept them waiting. I hope they gave them a little bit more than just one fast pass per party, because that's not enough. I didn't even hear about that. I didn't know.
Well, and I'm
that,
just
so.
assuming. I have no idea if they actually
Right.
did. I'm just assuming because all the fast passes were gone at like 10 a.m.
I
So-
gotcha. Yeah, so I'm hoping they gave a bit more than that. I think they.
Yeah.
So
Fast pass is usually the trump card. It's like, oh, how about you just, you want a Splash Mountain fast pass, and then it's like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, yes. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care that my last 3 hours were awful. Like, I got a fast pass for Splash Mountain. And I mean, it's something,
I hope they did a little bit more, but I'm happy they're at least doing something about it. you know?
Yeah, and it's like hard too, because like I understand Disney, like if they didn't do anything, I understand their point of view is like there's thousands of guests. We can't do everything for these guys. You know what I mean? But if it's your fault, then you really should do something.
Yeah.
But I don't even know what I'd want them to do.
I couldn't even,
because you
suggest
can't
anything.
necessarily be like, here's all your money back. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's maybe a little steep, but
Right.
yeah, it's like Magic Band seriously, or yeah, fast passes are like the only thing you can really do. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they could do stuff like give give a free dining experience, maybe like an extra, like maybe not this crazy, but an extra night at a hotel. Like, there's lots of different things I can do.
Yeah.
The problem is finding that right, like a free night at a hotel. I don't know if that's worth, like, I'd be stoked if I got a free night at a hotel out of this experience, but I don't know if that's worth the 3 hours I got put behind having an extra night at Disney World, Or I'm sorry, I'm saying like that's worth way more than the 3 hours is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So like,
well, and then like your vacations are only so long, So.
Yeah, you can't. Maybe that was your last day. You can't stay any longer. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
In that case, nothing they can do can really help you.
I'm assuming if they did anything else, it would be like, here's $25 gift or dining voucher.
Yeah.
That's probably the most they would do.
Yeah. And that's okay. Like I think I would be okay if I got a $25. I don't think I would. Maybe and a couple fast passes, because why not? Then I'd be okay with the whole ordeal.
Yeah.
Me personally, I know other people would. I'm not usually that type of person to travel to Disney World, so like I don't really know that side of the process. I live here, so
yeah. Well, and I did hear that Disney was very on top of like giving people water and stuff like that.
That's good.
Okay. So, they did do their like the bare minimum they needed to do. They did it, and they were on top of it. So that's really A+ for Disney there,
for sure.
But I don't know. Isn't this something they like test in the morning, or is this not something they do?
I mean, it probably is. They probably have someone going around with a checkboard, making sure all the systems work, and they skipped a step.
Probably. Well, if they didn't do it before, they definitely do it now.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm sure they fixed it. Like I know these things happen, but doesn't mean I have to be super forgiving about it. I mean, it's Disney, so that's kind of a crappy. 3 hours is a lot of time if you're on a vacation.
Yeah.
I know if that happened to me, I'd just be like, oh, cool, going turning around.
Yeah.
And this was just Magic Kingdom, right? This wasn't anywhere else?
No, it was just Magic Kingdom.
Okay. So that's, I mean, if I was on vacation, I would go take the monorail to Epcot, I guess.
Yeah, until things cleared up, which I'm sure a lot of people did.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, kind of crazy. So hopefully that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I'm sure they fixed it. That'd be crazy if it happened again.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, we can move on now.
Okay. Yeah.
So there was a cast member preview for the NBA experience. So we got a couple of insider information on that. Oh, we didn't do it. Nope. But it's kind of crazy. Like, it's $34 for adults, $29 for kids. I heard it's a little bit kiddish.
Really?
Like the adults that went were like, it seemed kind of more for kids, which surprised me.
Yeah.
I definitely thought this would be more like, I didn't think it'd be for like adults, but like I thought it would be like fun for adults.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I thought it would be like neat for them. But apparently there are 13 different basketball activities, and if these were known beforehand, I'm sorry, but this is all new to me. So
we're not super hype about the NBA experience. It's not something we refresh the page every day on looking for more information.
Yeah, because I felt like I would Google it and I'd be like so confused.
Yeah, I would too. Every time I'd Google, it wouldn't really answer my question. It would just, I don't know, it'd just be like, you're playing basketball. For $30.
Yeah,
34.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And every time I'd be like, yeah, I get it. It's basketball, but why am I paying $34 to play basketball? I can spend $15-20 on a basketball itself and keep it and play at a basketball court for free. And so nothing really was telling me what is making this special enough to warrant $34. So I was getting annoyed because of that.
Well, I was doing the same thing, and then as soon as this came out, it kind of actually said what some of the things were. So I was like, okay, finally I kind of have some idea of what it is. Mm-hmm. But there are 13 different basketball activities. They didn't list all of them, so yeah.
Still, why would they?
But there's dribble, which works on your ball handling skills. There's dunk, which features an adjustable rim, so you can make a highlight reel slam. There's arcade Pop-A-Shot games, which are just those normal arcade
Stuff
games
you
with
find
the
at
basketball.
carnivals.
Yeah, like any arcade has one. So, and there's also like trivia to see who knows the most about NBA and WNBA.
won't
Not
won't
me.
be good at that.
Yeah. And then there's also a thing called shoot, but they didn't really say what it is exactly. I guess
I
it
bet
like
you shoot the basketball.
yeah.
That's
I guess it
guessing.
like makes the stadium feel like you're like part of it. I guess.
okay.
Like you're like
I
an
think
NBA
I kind of
player.
heard about this.
I guess like when you're inside, you can register to be you can register a nickname, and then you can register your favorite team to you.
Oh, cool.
So like I could be
you ever-
Leroy High Jump or something. I don't know.
Is it just one of those stupid games you find on the back of cereal boxes that are like the first letter of your first name? D. Oh, I am Hijack. And the last letter of my last name is
I don't know.
what I'm saying? Like
Well, when I read this, I read it as you just make your own
okay,
nickname.
so that's cool. I guess.
Yeah. And so like I could be like, I'm gonna be Leroy High Jump, and my team is the Magic. And then once I go and do this thing, it's gonna be like Leroy High Jump in the Magic, and then you like come on stage with like the basketball, and then you shoot your 3-pointer or something. I don't know.
like,
I
oh
would.
man,
Like,
I don't know. It sounds super
yeah.
wacky.
I don't know. It does sound really weird to me.
If you want like the funniest video ever, get a video of me doing that. Like,
Is it weird though that I like kind of want to do it?
I mean, yeah, I want to try
Yeah.
it, but I don't. It sounds awesome. No, but it sounds fun. It's not $34 fun though. Like but it's just basketball.
Like I felt like if I got like a cast discount and I was really bored one day, I'd be like, yeah, I'll go
Sure,
see
I can
what
see
it
that.
is. You know,
And
just because I'm so curious what exactly
Yeah.
it is. Like you can tell me I can work on my ball handling skills or whatever, but like I don't know what that means. You know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you had a cast discount, I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to go. But and I'm sure you will pretty soon because I don't think this is going to be popular.
Yeah, well,
I
what
just
I've,
can't see it being popular.
what I've always said about it is that this is like such a niche market where you have to be like super into the NBA and you also want to experience what the NBA is like.
Yeah, and you
'Cause,
also
like,
have to be like at wanting to go to Disney.
yeah,
To even be
and
there.
not to mention your whole family has to be interested in it.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what
yeah,
I mean? Like let's say
exactly.
the dad is like really into it. The daughter and the mom probably aren't. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So is like the dad just gonna go? No.
No, he's gonna say yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's really weird.
I don't
But
know.
then apparently this is mainly for kids. So from what I've heard, I don't know for
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, I like basketball. I like the NBA. I like the Utah Jazz. But I mean, that doesn't mean I'm gonna be like, I want to be the Utah Jazz.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
like I want to. I watch basketball because I enjoy watching like the top percentile of athletes playing basketball, not
Yeah.
because like I want to be that. You know, like.
But I guess I could see like high schoolers or something, or even college people being, well, maybe not college people,
Yeah.
but like high schoolers being like the dream is the NBA and it's a cool experience for them maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, it sounds fun, but it's also like going back to. I'm gonna compare it to Disney Quest because you might as well. Disney Quest is like at least a unique experience. Yeah, it was an arcade, but as far as I know, there's no other arcade like it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, and yeah, it needed an update. It was outdated. But this doesn't scream like. This doesn't tell me why it needed to be made, you know? It's such a boring white bread answer to what they had to replace Disney Quest with, you know?
Yeah. I think it was good they replaced Disney Quest.
Yeah. I mean, I would have rather them updated it, but I understand. But then you find out what they were updating it with, and it was the NBA experience. Even if it was just like all sports, I'd probably be fine with that. If it was like an ESPN experience, like I'd be okay with that because at least that's a broader audience. Like specifically basketball and specifically the NBA. Not everyone even likes the NBA. Most people like college.
Yeah.
Like the college basketball is way more popular than NBA. So it's weird that they even went that far and just said specifically NBA. If you want a specific sport, it should have been soccer. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of soccer, but I know it's the world's most popular sport. They have a soccer store like down the road.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like, I don't know. It's so weird. Sorry about that, guys. We had a little bit of technical issues, but we're pretty much finished with the NBA anyway.
I was getting tired of complaining. So.
Yeah. We get it. NBA is a little weird.
Yeah.
But.
Oh, I do want to say, like, calling it now won't last 2 years.
You think so?
Yeah. I'm bold, maybe not so bold prediction. I think not many people are going to go, and it's going to be closed within 2 years.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't
Pretty
know.
bold. But because I know they spend a lot of money making it, but if it's a failure, it's a failure, and I think it's going to be a failure.
Yeah. I think it could be. I think it'll last a little. I think it'll last a little longer. But
We'll see.
We'll see. All right. Should we get on to our
Let's go for it.
top 5 underrated attractions?
Yep. So same as always, if my number 5 is Kyle's number 2, we will just say it's his number 2 so we can continue the conversation. Don't have to talk about it twice.
Exactly. Right. Now, was this list like hard for you to do?
Not really. I already had a couple rides in mind whenever we decided to do this topic. So I didn't really have too much of an issue creating a list. How about you?
It was a little weird for me at first, especially. Mm-hmm. Like at first I was like, I don't know. I like had a hard time coming up with one at first, but then as soon as I like got like the first 2, I was like, oh, okay, now we're rolling. I'm like coming up with a lot of them. So I don't know. It'd be interesting. Do you want to start it off or should
I? Yeah, I'll go ahead and start.
Okay.
So for my number 5, I put Country Bear Jamboree. Now, did you have that on your list?
It's my number 5 too.
Oh, cool.
All right, so we're starting off pretty even here.
Yeah. Country Bear Jamboree. It's a super funny show, and I think part of it might be just kids don't find it as entertaining as the adults do. Because I remember not being super huge into it when I was a kid, but going into it now, it is so funny, and it just has that kind of a historic value to it for Disney World, and Disneyland doesn't have it anymore, so that also makes it more interesting for me too. But I know it's just not a very popular show. Like you never have to wait for it,
Yeah.
You have to wait for the next show to start, but for the most part, it doesn't bring in too big of crowds.
Yeah, I think it's definitely underrated. This attraction to me felt like a very unique and weird attraction to make, which I love. Anytime something unique can be done, I'm like super down for it,
Yeah.
So that's definitely for me, like a big reason I like it. Like who would have guessed like I would have liked to sit down in front of some bears singing mildly inappropriate songs to me.
Yeah.
Like it just is weird. It's funny. And I feel like the last time we went to this, it like was the entire crowd was like super into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do remember that.
Yeah. So I mean, the cast members saying bear puns and everybody was laughing, and we're just like, we're clapping along to like the bears singing and we're laughing. I don't know. It's just,
yeah,
I feel like it's a lot funner than you think it's going to be.
It's also very Florida. I feel like it belongs in Florida. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Like, just that style of music and I don't know, like that twang. I feel like it has a place in Florida, and I kind of see why it might not be as popular in California, and that's why they probably got rid of it.
Yeah, could have been for sure. I don't know. I think it belongs to number 5, underrated attraction.
Yeah, I'm happy with my placement for it. But yeah, super funny show. Not popular enough.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your number 4?
My number 4 is Living with the Land.
Ooh.
Do you have that one?
Living with the Land is actually my honorable mention.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. 'Cause I figured it was somewhere on your list. But...
Yeah. Because I like Living with the Land. I put it on my honorable mention because it doesn't bring in very many crowds, but I kind of see why. I think it's enjoyable though, so that's why it's on my honorable mention.
Yeah. Well, Living with the Land was weird to me too because like every time I've asked somebody about Living with the Land, they've always been like, "I love that ride."
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're an adult, you like the ride. But
Right.
if once you've hit 20, you like the ride. But if you're like younger than that, you like don't like the ride.
Yeah.
So
That might be kind of a theme for this list though too. Is like kids don't like it, but adults do, and that's why most of these rides aren't very popular because they don't want to bring their kids on that. You know.
yeah. Yeah, it could be. Living with the Land, I think I love that it's like half dark ride and half greenhouse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If somebody were to be like, if say I was a guest and somebody would be like, Kyle, I know you spent $150 to come to Epcot. How about we go tour a little greenhouse? I'd be like, no. No way. I want to go ride Soarin'. I want to ride Test Track. I want to see the countries. Like, why would I want to see a greenhouse? But for some reason, when you like ride it, you're like, this is actually pretty cool. It just like, I just love that they can make an attraction that I didn't know I wanted, but like I actually did. You know what I mean? And then like the dark ride portion of it's really cool too. You get like the kind of the rain effect. Makes it seem like it's raining. You get a lot of classic feeling animatronics in it.
Yeah, I love the dark ride part. Do you agree that it could possibly use an update?
Yeah.
Because I do.
I don't think they would ever get an update. I think they'd sooner
yeah.
get rid of it than give it an update. But
100%.
I think it'd be cool if it got an update.
Yeah, like specifically, not really the dark ride part. I think the dark ride part is fine. I don't really need the state of the art animatronic buffalo in my ride, you know. But when we were going through the barn and it's like giving you all these like state of the art future of farming techniques from 1994 or whatever years were made, you know, it's like, okay, like how state of the art are these techniques now? Like maybe they are, but like it's been like 25 years since like this ride probably opened, I'm assuming. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
So like can we get more like an idea of the future of farming? Like what are people doing right now in agriculture that is like pushing towards the industry, you know?
Yeah, that is something I've definitely like wondered every time I go on it. Like, how much is this like actually?
Yeah, and then same with the greenhouse. After that barn, you kind of look at the like, oh, their techniques or whatever. And it's like these are pretty cool techniques, but that's been the same since I've been a kid, you know?
Yeah. Like they sound unique and they sound innovative, but like I don't know if they actually are or not.
They probably are like good, you know, ways to farm, but I'm sure there's other ways out there now that they could change it with. They're not going to update it. I think it'd be cool if they did.
Yeah, well, this is another reason I really like this ride is because it feels like I keep saying, it's very unique, but it's a ride that would never be made today.
Yeah, that's a good point.
No way Disney's going to be like, we're going to make that ride where you ride through a greenhouse.
Yeah.
No way. You're going to you're seeing Mickey Mouse rides and Great Movie Ride. You're seeing Guardians of the Galaxy coasters. You're seeing Guardians of the Galaxy shows. You're seeing
totally
Star Wars Land. You're not going to see freaking Living with the Land. You know, like
that's such a good point.
Same way with Country Bear Jamboree, and I think it's they don't get a lot of foot traffic in them, but I think they're pretty good and very cool ideas for rides.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's my beef with Living with the Land. What's your number 4?
So my number 4, Epcot again, is Three Caballeros. The Three Caballeros ride at the Mexico Pavilion is actually my favorite ride at Epcot. I like it more than Soarin'. I like it way more than Test Track. I just like the ride. I'm a big fan of boat rides. And I like Soaring, but it's just the Three Caballeros.
You said you like it more than Soarin'?
I do like it more than Soarin'.
Oh.
I just really like it. I mean,
Interesting.
Soarin' objectively is better.
Yeah.
It's the better ride, like, obviously. But me personally, I prefer Three Caballeros. And, you know, there's a lot of things to take into account, like the fact that it is a walk-on, you know? Like,
Sure.
Like, if Three Caballeros was 60 minutes, I would never get in line, you know? Like, so there's things to consider. But anyway... it's a walk-on. Like, no one really goes on this ride. It's very hidden away, so I'm sure a lot of people don't even know about it. But it's very... I like how it's just very relaxing, especially in the first part where you're just kind of like, you know, floating by the restaurant and stuff. Like, I just think it's fun. And then you get into, like, the, you know... Panchito, Jose, and Donald, they show up, and then it just becomes fun. Like, I love the Three Caballeros, so that helps. But like, I like the aesthetic of it a lot. I just think it's funny. The music is fun. I just enjoy myself when I'm on that ride. I just have fun, I think that's like all that matters when you go on a ride. Is this on your list?
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, I didn't have this one.
Okay.
I do like the ride. It's definitely not one of like my favorites.
It's one of mine.
I'm not like super into it. But I like it. I love the animatronics at the end.
Yeah, I didn't even mention those.
Yeah,
animatronics.
Like, I know it used to be a screen, but I really like that change. Now it's now the animatronics. And yeah, it is like a nice ride. I like riding through the restaurant. Too. Like that's like Disneyland's Blue Bayou. This is ours.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like it's a JV version, but
yeah, no, for sure.
I like it. I think it's good. Definitely underrated for sure.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it might get less foot traffic than Living with the Land, to be honest.
Probably. Like, yeah, but I enjoy boat rides. I like them a lot. They're very relaxing to me.
Yeah.
I just like sitting down, mellowing out, and just enjoying the ride, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah.
No, I totally feel you.
And the wait time plays a huge part for how much I enjoy the ride. It is nice just getting on a ride. Not that I wouldn't enjoy it if it was like consistently a 30-minute wait, but I'm the type of person that never gets on a ride if it's more than 20-minute wait anyway. So...
Yeah, we're fast past hungry.
Yep.
All right, cool.
So what are we at? You're number 3?
Yeah. So I cheated a little bit on this one.
Okay.
We're going back to Epcot. Apparently, Epcot's just
Epcot
full
has
of
a lot,
underrated
yeah.
rides. But this one isn't a ride. I chose all the movies in World Showcase.
Oh, my number 3 is Oh Canada.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's so funny.
That's really weird.
Yeah. So
I definitely didn't expect you to have this one.
Oh, really?
I cheated and put all of them into it.
Okay. Yeah, I specifically picked Oh Canada because I don't necessarily enjoy the France, the China, or the American show all that much.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So my deal with these is I just feel like they're like I keep asking people. I'm like, have you seen the shows around the World Showcase? And they're always like, no. Or I've seen one of them.
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean? And I feel like they're actually very appropriate and great for World Showcase. I know they're being refurbished. I'm glad they're not getting rid of them necessarily. Because you can go to the Canada Pavilion and it's cool and you sort of feel like you're in Canada, but like it's not really Canada, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you can go see the show and you can actually see what Canada's like and see the different types of events that are happening in Canada. And I don't know, I just think it's cool. The same way with France. The ladies all love the France one. I think it's because the super sexy narrator voice in it. Like, I saw it the other day, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this guy! He's like, I see why all the ladies like this."
I gotta listen to it again. It's been a while.
Yeah, you should go to it because it's like super dramatic, like super stereotypical, like
that's funny
French voice. But yeah, I don't know. I think every show, it just has its place, and I'm glad they do it.
Yeah,
and I think they're underrated. I think not a lot of people go necessarily see them. It's a very skippable thing. Like if I was on vacation, I wouldn't see it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. There's a lot of rides I would never go on if I was here on vacation. But
Yeah. So I just think it's a little bit underrated.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Oh Canada, I mean, that's the I mean, all of the movies make me want to go to the place. That's what they're trying to do. But Oh Canada is the one that does it for me the most.
Mm-hmm.
I want, when I see that, I want to go to Canada, which is probably like the least exotic like choice of all of them. Oh, the rest of them are in, you know, Asia and Europe, and then Canada is just like go up a little bit. But I don't know. It just makes me want to go there the most. That it just provides a really good mix of, you know, seriousness of like why you should be in Canada and, you know, humor. I love Martin Short. Like I think he does a great job of selling me on Canada. So I like the idea that they should make these movies kind of funny or engaging, I should say, maybe, because. I like the China one, Circle Vision movie too, but it kind of makes me want to fall asleep when I watch it. At least when I watch Canada, I'm not, you know, I'm engaged. I'm like, what's he gonna say? What funny thing is he gonna say?
Yeah.
But Canada, I just get so tired by the end of it. China. China, I get so tired by the end of it. It's pretty, but. So is Canada.
yeah. I personally like the Canada one the best as well. But yeah, I think they all have their place. But yeah, I agree. China one's a little bit sleepy.
Aren't they updating that one, or did they?
Yeah,
already?
I think so. They're updating it. I don't think they have yet.
Gotcha.
I think it's part of the. If they have, then I need to go see it.
Just make Martin Short narrate all of them.
Yeah, right.
He even makes a comment about the French pavilion.
Yeah, very fourth wall breaking.
Yeah, it's enjoyable.
He's gonna miss his Soarin' Fast passes.
Yeah.
No, I love all of them. I think they're all cool.
Definitely. All right, my number 2.
Yep.
Okay, probably controversial pick, but kind of explain my reasoning.
All right.
My number 2 is Alien Swirling Saucers.
Okay.
So no one talks about this ride because they're talking about Slinky, which I think this ride is way better.
Okay, interesting.
So that's kind of like my reasoning for why it should be on a top 5 underrated list. Like, obviously it's a new ride, so people are going on it and they are excited for it. This isn't necessarily because it's like low wait times or anything, but basically everyone is like talking about the Slinky Dog ride and how amazing it is, and I much prefer Alien Swirling Saucers. Mind you, I rode this before I rode Mater's, before I ever rode the similar ride in Disneyland. So I had never ridden anything like it. This ride was so unique to me, whereas Slinky Dog was just another roller coaster. It didn't really provide anything to me that said this is unique, you know? And I feel like Disney World usually makes unique rides. This didn't really give me any different thrill than any other roller coaster would, you know? But Alien Swirling Saucers was very different. It's a lower wait time, so that helps for me too.
True.
And I just enjoy it. And no one ever really gives it the time of day when talking about Toy Story Land as a whole. They always want to talk about Slinky Dog, and then even Toy Story Mania after that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That is true.
Yeah.
Like, I don't hear anybody talking about the Alien Swirling Saucer ride.
I will say I enjoy Toy Story Mania probably more than Alien Swirling Saucers. But I think that's warranted.
Yeah, I do think Slinky is innovative. It's just a coaster, but it does have those like launches, and it kind of feels like a Slinky a little bit. So I think that's kind of what drew attention away from Alien Swirling Saucers, and just that like Alien Swirling Saucers, they have rides like it. Like
and
Disneyland
to me,
rides.
I never rode anything like it before. Like, I rode Mater's like a couple months after I first rode Alien Swirling Saucers. So like to me, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
But then when you ride Alien Swirling Saucers, next time you guys ride it, look at all the other cars. Everyone is smiling and laughing and having so much fun. It is a fun ride. People enjoy it.
It's the same way with like those like Cali River Rapids and those types of rides where it's like nobody says that's their favorite ride, but when you get on it, everybody's laughing.
Yeah.
You know, we're like making fun of each other, like, oh my gosh, you're gonna get wet.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Problem with Cali River Rapids is there's so many other like better what are those called? Like raft rides,
I guess.
Raft rides. Like especially if your goal is to get wet, go to Popeyes at Universal. Like
or California Adventures is way better too.
Oh, I did read. Yeah,
I can't remember. I forgot about
that one. Yeah,
off the top of my head for some reason.
Yeah,
but, I like that one better than Cali as well. Yeah. I think Alien has its place though, and it's good. Like I love Toy Story Land being that land that like everybody can go to, like kids and parents and whatnot. So
definitely, it's a good spot.
It's a good spot for it.
All right, cool. And your number 2, or did we say your number 2?
Nope.
Okay, cool.
I got my number 2 left. So my number 2, I'm gonna give Disneyland some love here. I got storytelling at the Royal Theater.
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
This is actually probably like a top 5 show or / attraction for me, like period. Okay. I really like this show. For those of you who don't know, it's basically you have 2 storytellers and they're telling the story of either Beauty and the Beast or Rapunzel. If they tell it with Beauty and the Beast, they have Belle, the character of Belle, helping them tell the story. And if they do it for Rapunzel, they have Rapunzel and Flynn. And I think this is just it's a very, how do I want to say it? Like self-aware. Like it's very fourth wall breaking. They reference and quote theme park type quotes and like attractions and whatnots. So I really like this attraction. I think it's really funny. It really has my sense of humor down pat. I love that you have the characters in them. It's basically like you're at a theater, so they're reenacting it like they're in a play, basically. So sometimes they have like they use theater props for things. And, I don't know. I really like it. You saw it, right?
I saw it, yeah. I don't think I saw the Beauty and the Beast one.
Okay, you just saw the Rapunzel.
Which it was awesome. I loved it.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, I really like this attraction. I think it's really fun. So if you haven't seen it, but like it's like such a weird show because when you like look on the map, it's like storytelling at the Royal Theater. What's that? Like you don't really care about it, but I think it's fun for the kids. It's fun for the adults. It's just fun. Mm-hmm. So
definitely,
that's my number 2.
Okay. Well, before getting on to our number 1s, do you have an honorable mention left? Because
I came up with one. I don't know if it really counts as an underrated attraction or not.
I have another one, but that's just because I just thought of it, and it might have been on my top 5 if I remembered about it.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. So another honorable mention I have is the Frozen sing-along.
Okay, that's my number 1.
Is it? Okay, because I just thought of it, and I was like, wow, that should have been somewhere on my list.
Yeah, that's definitely my number 1. I thought you had it. I thought that was going to be your number 1, too.
Oh, wow. Because it could be. Like, I am now regretting, like, my entire order of my list, because that should have been on there. It is such a fun show, and not no one goes to it. A lot of people go to it, but like everyone expects it to be what it's called. It's you're watching Frozen and you're singing along, where it's like much more than that and so funny.
Yeah. So basically, the first time in forever, a Frozen sing along. That attraction is our version of the Royal storytelling, or the storytelling at the Royal Theater in Disneyland. This is our version, and it's just Frozen, but you have the Frozen characters, and it's just funny. It's so self-aware. Yeah. I think really the sing-along portion of the title really dissuades people from going to it. But it's really so much more than that. Like you have to go to see the interactions with the storytellers, with the characters and with the audience. They interact with you. Like I remember the one we saw the other day, when Let It Go came up and we were all supposed to sing it Let It Go. The guy, like, he turns around and he's like, "This one's for you, dads." And it was the funniest thing. Like everybody's laughing and having a good time. And you don't have to sing either. You can, like obviously, if you have a kid or somebody else that like really likes Frozen, you can get that excuse to go see it. That's like
Yeah.
the best for you, I guess. But
Yeah, and the sing along part isn't even that bad because when I go and the songs start and they're having you sing along, just look at the storytellers. They're off to the side singing the song as well, and they're doing all these wacky dances or like they're interacting with each other or they're talking to the people in like the front row about something, like making fun of them or something. Like it's just so fun to watch them. Like last time we went the guy, like they had like these like cutouts of the castle or whatever, like a tower or something like that, and the guy started climbing it. And so the other storyteller girl had to like pull him down. Like I guess he was just bored of the song or something, I don't know, but he just started climbing a castle. It was so funny.
Yeah, it's different every time too.
It's so different every time.
They're different actors, and they
all have their own style.
They have their own style,
Yeah.
and they're like their own personal humor. Like this last time we went, the guy had a very dry sense of humor, which was really interesting. But then like the time before, the guy was super energetic and like crazy off the wall. So it's super fun.
Yeah.
Also like for the Olaf song too.
I think I know what you're
Like
gonna say.
so like you know the happy snowman part. If you say puddle instead, if like the crowd says puddle,
Which
like
they almost always do.
they always do now, because the storytellers will like react to like that, to you guys saying Olaf should be a puddle.
Yeah.
You know, like it's
They'll
so
get
funny.
so mad.
Like the time before we saw it, the crowd all said puddle, and I can't remember if it was. I think it was the girl. She like started rolling up her sleeves.
That's right. Yeah.
And like started like walking on over to him, acting like she was gonna pick a fight with somebody, and the guy kept having to pull her back.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. If you've never gone, even if you hate Frozen, go on it. It is so funny.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's such a worthwhile show, and it is just a good time.
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I thought of it. I wish I put it on my list. I'm not sure how I would have changed my list, but it would be on there.
Well, now I'm curious what your number one is. But my honorable mention.
You're curious what my number one is?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, okay.
Because I thought that was your number one.
Oh, wow. And it probably could have been, honestly.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about it before, that show,
Yeah.
and how nobody goes to it because it's like a sing along. So I was like, oh, it's definitely.
I should have put it on. I just forgot about it.
Well, I didn't think it was gonna be your number one. I thought it was gonna be on your list somewhere.
Okay.
But then as soon as we got through number two, I was like, I guess this is number one as well.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of
That's
wish
funny.
it was my number one now. But what's your honorable mention?
My honorable mention is Enchanted Tiki Room. I can't go without a
Okay.
top five without talking about the Enchanted Tiki Room. So I figured I'd put it in. But it's like, I don't even know if it's really underrated. I just feel like it's a skippable attraction, but it's very classic, has a lot of
Yeah.
classic tunes, characters, attractions.
You were wearing the shirt. I
you're
saw
wearing the
this
shirt.
shirt and I was like, that's going to be on his list.
Yeah. Like it's a classic. Like people like it though.
You're right.
So, and I think people go to it a lot. So I like struggled to put it in an underrated list. I'm not really sure if it's really underrated. So.
That makes sense. It's kind of my reasoning for the land. Anyway, you don't have a guess for my number one?
No.
Okay.
I don't.
My number one underrated attraction, and maybe I'm wrong at calling it underrated, but it's Dinosaur.
Okay.
I would call it underrated because I don't think the last couple of times we've been on it, the wait time has been like really long. But that's just because they were having technical difficulties, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But no one really goes to it. Granted, it's kind of stacked against a lot of good rides in Animal Kingdom. People talk about Everest, Flight of Passage, Pandora as a whole, Safari. No one really talks about Dinosaur, which I personally think is much better than its Disneyland equivalent of Indiana Jones. Because a lot of people I talk to will be like, yeah, Dinosaur's okay, but have you gone on Indiana Jones? And it's like, yeah, it's not as good. I don't like Indiana Jones. It's good. Indiana Jones is good, but it's not as good as Dinosaur. The dinosaur animatronics are so freaking cool. And I'm just a big animatronic guy, so I love that sort of thing. That along with just the campy plot and just the way the Jeep moves around, it just feels so right. It just does such a good job of like making you feel like you're in the past, you know? And it's not as popular as a ride as I think it should be.
Yeah, like I had to convince myself a little bit, but I think you're right. Yeah, it's definitely underrated. Like people definitely, you don't hear people talk about it.
No, but I think a big part about it is it's just stacked against Everest, Safari, Flight of Passage. There's so many good rides at Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, because I don't know, I'd probably put it like I'd probably ride Everest, Safari, Flight of Passage before Dinosaur too.
Yeah, a lot of people would. I wouldn't blame them for it. Dinosaur is my favorite ride in Animal Kingdom. I like it more than those three. I know that's not objectively right. I think all three of those rides are objectively better, but I like it the most. But yeah, and most of the time you'll find it a wait time less than 30 minutes. It's pretty easy to get fast passes for too.
For sure.
So I'd 100% say it's underrated. Arguable shouldn't be number one. That was a pretty biased pick, especially since I forgot about Frozen. Like, Frozen should have been on my list.
No, I can see it though.
But
definitely being an underrated attraction.
It's an underrated attraction, 100%.
Yeah, I wasn't really, because I feel like people do like the ride, but
no one really talks about it.
Yeah, nobody talks about it, and when nobody talks about like. Nobody talks like literally about it either, like about the animatronics, about the characters, about how it works. You know what I mean? Like people might be like, "Oh, we can ride dinosaurs, sure," but they don't really talk about how actually cool it is. So.
And I think it transports you into the world of dinosaurs much better than like Everest does.
Yeah,
like personally.
That's true.
Like better than Everest makes you feel like you're on Mount Everest. It doesn't put a candle towards Pandora in that aspect. But it just does such a good job of like transporting you. Like that time travel scene, the very beginning, it kind of like blows my mind every time. It just does a good job of making you just like, bam, like you're in the past now.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And it feels like you're outside. It does so well since it's like all dark out. You can't really see the tracks. So you can't, and that was my problem with Indiana Jones. Sorry I'm complaining about that ride so much, but you can see the tracks. You can see other people driving, and that just feels like a ride to me. It doesn't feel like I'm in Indiana Jones. It feels like I'm riding a ride with a dozen other tourists, you know? Here, you never see another Jeep when you leave the loading dock. So, like, it's so cool. And no one really appreciates it. No one appreciates dinosaur like I do, Kyle.
Yeah, no, I don't think they do. So now, like, I don't think I've heard anybody talk about it. I'm like trying to think about it.
No one does. And when they do, they like go like, yeah, but it's not as good as the Indiana Jones ride. Just because it's Indiana Jones doesn't make it better. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I do like Indiana Jones. I think they're pretty similar to me. Like, I'm not like dinosaur is way better or Indiana Jones is way better. Sure. They're both like same ride to me.
I think they're both super enjoyable. Indiana Jones is actually like awesome. I love that ride, but it's just like when you're comparing the two, it's baffling to me that dinosaur isn't just the automatic like it's better ride for me. I think the fact that it's Indiana Jones just makes people like it more.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Indiana Jones has some cool stuff too.
It does. It does. Like, I don't mean to make it sound like I don't like Indiana Jones. I really do. But I've met so many people that
that's
just
true.
Put down dinosaur.
It's definitely like people like Indiana Jones more for sure.
And then there's so many rumors nowadays, which probably aren't like anywhere near true. But there's so many rumors about Disney replacing the dinosaur ride or like the dinosaur land as a whole with kind of an Indiana Jones like aesthetic, since they have Lucasfilm now, and like
I hope they don't do that.
I hope they don't either.
Just like I don't want our tower to go to Guardians, even though I really like the Guardians one. I like them being different.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, well, cool.
Yeah. Did I state my case all right?
I think
good.
so.
Very good.
I think dinosaurs super underrated.
It's debatable. It probably doesn't belong in number one. That was pretty biased pick of me because I love that ride. But I mean, I talked about the longest out of all my picks, so maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think you sold your case pretty well about it. Yeah. No, for sure. Well, just to recap, my honorable mention was Enchanted Tiki Room. My number 5 was Country Bear. 4 was Living with the Land. 3 was all the movies around World Showcase. 2 was storytelling at the Rural Theater. And 1 was, for the first time in forever, a Frozen sing-along celebration.
Cool. Honorable mentions for me are The Land, Frozen if you want to count that as well, Country Bear Jamboree, Three Caballeros, Oh Canada, Ailing Swirling Saucers, and Dinosaur.
Cool. I'm surprised at how similar
Ours
lists
ended
were.
up way more. Like, we were talking, maybe it was on the episode, but when we started recording, I can't remember, but we were talking about, like, do you think we have a similar list? And I was like, no.
Yeah, I thought like 1 or 2 would be the same, but I was very surprised you had the Oh Canada on
and
there.
I didn't expect you to have that either.
Yeah, Country Bear we both had at the same spot.
Living with the
like
Land.
Country Bear and Living with Land, those were the 2 I thought we'd have together.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Oh Canada blew my mind. Oh, and Frozen, I thought we'd have that one too.
Yeah,
So,
and I should have. I'm super sad about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. But yeah, the movies around World Showcase, so it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Okay.
cool. Anything else? We done?
Oh, I think we're done.
Okay. Cool. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. And as always, Kwaherini.